All my dear students of class 8, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Once again, welcome back to your chemistry online class. I was taking up the last chapter in chemistry and I had told you about the physical properties of carbon dioxide, that it is a colorless and odorless gas at room temperature and also non-poisonous in nature, but when in excess it causes suffocation. Then carbon dioxide is soluble in water, and this dissolved carbon dioxide is used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis. Let's proceed on with the chemical properties of carbon dioxide, in which I had told you about the combustibility of carbon dioxide. So, the activity 8 on page 141, that is to show that carbon dioxide is heavier than air and a non-supporter of combustion. We have taken a jar containing carbon dioxide. Now, what do? That we introduce a burning candle in a jar which is containing air, and then we tilt the jar. This is containing carbon dioxide. We tilt the jar. This is jar number 1 and this is jar number 2. We had introduced a burning candle in this jar and then tilted a jar which is containing carbon dioxide. What do we observe? That the candle flame gets extinguished. So, just because this carbon dioxide which was present in this jar, carbon dioxide was present, this spreads in this one. So, the candle gets extinguished. Is it clear? So, what does this experiment show? This experiment shows that carbon dioxide is heavier than air and does not support combustion. So, when the candle flame gets extinguished, the reason is that carbon dioxide spreads over the flame and the air comes out because carbon dioxide is heavier. So, the flame gets extinguished. Next is the action on litmus paper. This is the litmus paper, and when carbon dioxide is introduced, the blue litmus paper is introduced in this. That is the moist blue litmus paper. This is the litmus paper which is blue in color, and when it is introduced in a jar which contained, or a beaker containing carbon dioxide along which is dissolved in water. So, this is acidic in nature. Carbonic acid is formed, and when this blue litmus paper is introduced in this turns red, showing that carbon dioxide is acidic in nature. Is it clear? So, what is the reaction of carbon dioxide with water? That is, carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form a very weak acid, which I just told you, that is carbonic acid, and this carbonic acid turns blue litmus red. This shows that a solution of carbon dioxide in water is acidic in nature. Is it clear? Then reaction with lime water. So, when carbon dioxide gases pass through lime water. Now, lime water is what? It is calcium hydroxide, aqueous calcium hydroxide. So, when carbon dioxide is passed through it, it results in the formation of calcium carbonate, which is a white precipitate. This is a white precipitate, and due to this the color of the solution changes to white. Is that clear? So, however, when carbon dioxide gas is passed in excess, the milky solution turns colorless. Why is this so? This is because of the formation of calcium bicarbonate that dissolves in the solution. Is that clear? When calcium carbonate does not dissolve, it forms a white precipitate, and this results in the color, that is the milky color of the solution. When this carbon dioxide gas, you keep on passing the carbon dioxide gas through this, then it will change into calcium bicarbonate. Is that clear? This will change into calcium bicarbonate, and this calcium bicarbonate is soluble in, is that clear? Dissolved in the solution. Hence, the color again returns back to colorless. Is that clear? Then what is the reaction with alkalis? Now, carbon dioxide, what alkalis? Like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, they are all alkalis. And now carbon dioxide reacts with sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide to produce salt and water. So similarly with KOH also, it will form potassium carbonate and water. Exactly as you've seen, carbon dioxide plus sodium hydroxide gives salt, that is sodium carbonate and water. Similarly with potassium hydroxide, it will form potassium hydroxide and potassium carbonate will be the product along with water. Is it clear? So another name for potassium hydroxide is caustic potash, while for sodium hydroxide it is caustic soda. Both are alkalis. So they are used to remove carbon dioxide. Is that clear? So potassium hydroxide is preferred because of better absorbing capacity. On passing excess of carbon dioxide, respective bicarbonates are formed. That is, with sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide plus water gives sodium bicarbonate, and potassium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water gives potassium bicarbonate. Is it clear? And the reaction with metals. Metals like sodium, potassium, magnesium burn in the presence of carbon dioxide to form respective oxides and black specks of carbon. I told you that a few metals burn in the presence of carbon dioxide, and while burning they deposit black specks of carbon. Black, like if they are burning in the test tube, you can see the black, small black bits, black tiny pieces of black, that is, it is carbon. Similarly, the reaction with non-metals, that is, you can take this, that is carbon dioxide plus carbon. Carbon is a non-metal, carbon dioxide and carbon, it will result in the formation of carbon monoxide. Is it clear? So carbon dioxide reacts with non-metal like red hot coke. This is red hot coke, form of carbon, to form carbon monoxide gas. It is highly poisonous. Then carbon dioxide reacts with basic metallic oxides, that is the metallic oxides, they dissolve in, or metal oxide, they dissolve in water to form the bases. So metallic oxides, when they react with carbon dioxide, they form metal carbonates. If this would have been, you can take here magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide also, it will result in the formation of magnesium carbonate. Is that clear? This is the carbonate radical. Then what are the tests for confirmation of carbon dioxide? When I have already told you that when a burning matchstick is introduced in a gas jar containing carbon dioxide, it gets extinguished. And first is that carbon dioxide gas turns lime water milky, which I have discussed earlier also. So here you can see a burning matchstick has been introduced into this beaker which contains carbon dioxide, it gets extinguished, stops burning. Is that clear? Now what are the various uses of carbon dioxide? Almost all of you are very fond of cold drinks, isn't it? Pepsi, Coca-Cola and Thumbs Up and 7-Up, all these cold drinks. But you have seen that fizzing bubbles inside once you open it. Why is there fizzing when the cold drink bottles are opened? Just because they contain carbon dioxide under pressure. So carbon dioxide gas is used in aerated drinks and it is dissolved in water under pressure. That is why that fizzing is seen once you open the bottle. And to form soda water. Is that clear? When we open the bottle, the pressure is released and the gas escapes with a brisk effervescence. There is bubbling that is seen and the gas carbon dioxide comes out and the effervescence, that bubbling is also there. So this adds fizz to the drink and the soft drinks are formed by dissolving carbon dioxide in a sugar solution along with the desired flavor. In the earlier lecture, I had shown you the dry ice, that is solid carbon dioxide packs. Is that clear? So basically this dry ice is used as a refrigerant, that is to keep or preserve perishable foods or even used it in for some medicines which have to be maintained under cold conditions. Is that clear? So like fish, food, medicines, meat, ice cream and vegetable, this kind of white ice you can see with them, and this is for preserving and maintaining the temperature. By maintaining the temperature of these perishable foods, or even with certain medicines and injections, it is kept. So the grains can be prepared and kept fresh in an atmosphere of carbon dioxide. Is it clear? Then it is also used in the manufacture of chemicals. For example, washing soda, baking powder, baking soda, all of these are prepared by using carbon dioxide. Is that clear? The chemical name of baking soda is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, sorry, NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate, and for washing soda it is sodium carbonate. Is it clear? This sodium carbonate along with the water of crystallization. Then mixture of, you can see that in its preparation what is used, we have used carbon dioxide. Then mixture of sodium bicarbonate and potassium hydroxide tartrate forms the baking powder. Now you all must have come across these tins and these boxes which contain baking soda and baking powder. Now the baking powder is a mixture of sodium bicarbonate and potassium hydrogen tartarate, while baking soda is just sodium bicarbonate. Is it clear? So baking powder and baking soda both are used to make cakes and bread spongy, as it releases carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide is used in photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide is used in the process of photosynthesis by plants, and we all know that this is a natural process of what? Of manufacturing food or synthesizing food by all the green plants, that is the plants which contain the pigment chlorophyll. So during photosynthesis what happens, that carbon dioxide combines with water, you can see, in the presence of sunlight. Is that clear? And the presence of chlorophyll which is present in the plant, and to form glucose and oxygen. Now this is the process which helps to maintain the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. Is that clear? Because oxygen is being released by the plants, and which are used by the animals and human beings for the process of respiration, and in turn human beings and animals respire and they exhale out carbon dioxide, which is being used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis. So this maintains the balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is used in the form of carbogen for artificial respiration. For artificial respiration, carbogen is given, and this carbogen is a mixture of 5% carbon dioxide and 95% oxygen. Is that clear? So, and it is used to stimulate breathing in the treatment of respiratory disease. Is that clear? Now it is also used in the manufacturing of fertilizers, that is the chemicals which are used to fertilize the soil or increase the fertility of the soil. So carbon dioxide is heated with ammonia at 200 degrees Celsius and the very high pressure to produce urea. So this is the process by which urea is prepared, and urea is an important nitrogenous fertilizer and a very common fertilizer which is used to increase the fertility of the soil. Is it clear? Then you all must have come across this kind of equipment. So it is used to extinguish fire, and this is known as a fire extinguisher. Is that clear? And fire is produced by burning or combustion of a substance. So And the two conditions which are necessary for producing fire are combustible substance and a supporter of combustion, that is substance which can burn. Like you cannot burn, what are the things that you cannot burn? They are non-combustible. What are the things which are combustible? So paper, then coke, coal, these are all combustible, and there are certain gases or things which support combustion, and these conditions are fulfilled, then it results in fire. And if fire is there and it needs to be controlled, it can be removed by removing, or sorry, it can be extinguished by removing one or more of these conditions. That is, the combustible substance is removed or the supply of the supporter of combustion is cut off. So the same principle is also used to extinguish fire, that is what I am telling you. Then carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire because of the given reasons, that is, it neither burns nor helps in burning. I had told for carbon dioxide that it is a non-supporter of combustion. Nor does it burn, nor does it support burning. Is that clear? It is heavier than air. I had shown you an activity, I told you about it, that is when a gas jar containing carbon dioxide is introduced on a gas jar containing a burning candle. Then what does the carbon dioxide do? It insulates the burning substance, that is by cutting off the supply of oxygen. It settles on the burning candle and cuts off the supply of oxygen. Is it clear? And the candle gets extinguished. And now let us discuss the exercise on page number 143. Yes, that is calcium carbonate decomposes on strong heating to produce what? To produce carbon dioxide gas. Is it clear? When a moist blue litmus paper comes in contact with carbon dioxide, it does not change its color, turns yellow, becomes colorless, or turns red. It turns red. Is that clear? Carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form which acid? Yes, it is carbonic acid. Which of the following is preferred over others for absorbing carbon dioxide? It is potassium hydroxide. But before that, that is number 4, when carbon dioxide gas is passed through lime water, it turns milky. Is it clear? It turns milky. Then when a burning matchstick is brought near carbon dioxide gas, it extinguishes, it stops burning. Then match the following and complete the following equations. Please try to do this on your own. Now, what is a fire extinguisher? Now, when there is a fire anywhere, then we use this equipment, and this particular equipment or apparatus, and this device is present in almost all public places and as well as in schools, and certain people have it at home also. This is used to extinguish fire, or it is a device to protect us from active fires, often in an emergency situation, and carbon dioxide is used in this device to put off fire. So there are 3 common types of fire extinguishers, that is foam type fire extinguisher, soda acid fire extinguisher, and liquid carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. Now this is the picture of the mechanical foam fire extinguisher, that is the foam type fire extinguisher. Now it consists of a metallic cylinder having a knob and a nozzle. So it is having a knob and a nozzle both. Is that clear? This is the knob that is present, and there is a nozzle also. Is it clear? So here you can see there is a nozzle here. So the metallic cylinder is filled with a saturated solution of sodium bicarbonate. This metallic cylinder, it contains sodium bicarbonate. Is it clear? This contains sodium bicarbonate. A glass bottle containing aluminum sulfate is kept inside the metallic cylinder. Now this contains aluminum sulfate. Is that clear? And when we strike the knob of extinguisher against a hard surface, the glass bottle breaks. The bottle breaks and aluminum sulfate comes in contact with the sodium bicarbonate. Is that clear? Both of them come in contact and they react to produce carbon dioxide gas and aluminum hydroxide. Now, a substance called saponin is added to sodium bicarbonate solution to produce a foam of carbon dioxide. And this helps in what? This foam of carbon dioxide comes out through the nozzle that is directed towards the fire. This nozzle is directed towards the fire. And this type of extinguisher is used to extinguish fires caused by petrol and kerosene. Is that clear? They are used to extinguish fire which are through what caused by petrol and kerosene. So, what is happening? The aluminum sulfate which is kept inside the metallic cylinder here and the the glass bottle which is containing aluminum sulfate comes in contact with the metallic cylinder which is containing saturated solution of sodium bicarbonate, and what happens that they come in contact with each other and they react to produce carbon dioxide gas and aluminum hydroxide. And another substance, that is saponin, is added to sodium bicarbonate solution over here to produce a foam of carbon dioxide, and this foam of carbon dioxide is released through the nozzle and directed towards the fire, that is the fire which has been caused by petrol and kerosene. Is that clear? Which are highly flammable substances. So, you go through the equation also, that is sodium bicarbonate and aluminum sulfate 6Na HCO3 plus Al2 SO4 whole thrice gives sodium sulfate, aluminum hydroxide and carbon dioxide. Next type of fire extinguisher is soda acid fire extinguisher, that is, this consists of a container filled with sodium bicarbonate solution, this sodium bicarbonate solution and a sealed glass bottle containing sulfuric acid. Here this contains sulfuric acid. Now, when the extinguisher is to be used, the glass bottle containing the acid is broken. Is that clear? What happens as a result of this? Sodium bicarbonate and sulfuric acid, they come in contact with each other. You can see the equation which reaction is taking place. Then what is the result? Sodium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide are formed and the gas rushes out through the nozzle, through this nozzle. Is that clear over here? And this is directed towards the fire. It spreads over the fire and cuts off the supply of air by forming a layer on the fire. Thus, the fire extinguishes. Is that clear? So, this is where the sulfuric acid and sodium bicarbonate are coming in contact with each other. As a result, carbon dioxide is being released and this nozzle is directed towards the fire and the fire gets extinguished. This is the third type, that is liquid carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. This is most commonly used. Then this carbon dioxide is stored in a steel cylinder under high pressure. This is the steel cylinder and in this the carbon dioxide gas is stored under high pressure. Now, what is there inside this? That when we open the valve of the cylinder, the pressure reduces and liquid carbon dioxide changes into white snow, dry ice. Is that clear? When the pressure is released, this liquid carbon dioxide that is stored over here, this changes into solid carbon dioxide. Is that clear? Dry ice. Now, it is used to extinguish both oil fed the fires if kerosene has fallen somewhere, or the fire which is caused due to kerosene, petrol, diesel, any inflammable oil, and even it is used to extinguish fires which have been caused due to electrical short circuits. Is that clear? Then soda acid and foam type fire extinguisher cannot be used to put out what? Electrical fire. Is that clear? It is because in these fire extinguishers water is also produced along with carbon dioxide. And what is water? It is a good conductor of electricity. So, water conducts electricity and may cause an electric shock. Is that clear? So, water can conduct electricity and it may cause an electric shock just because of the different types of ions which are present. It is not distilled water. So, it conducts electricity and may cause an electric shock. That is why we cannot use soda acid and foam type fire extinguishers to put off electrical fires. Allah Hafiz, please revise it. Inshallah, we will meet in the next session in school. Allah Hafiz.